Do you want to carry on?
What do you think?
Yeah, well, I don't know how you feel, Mary, but as Miss... I mean, I don't want to call you Vera.
Oh, you must. Everybody calls me Vera.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then thank you, I will. No, I just thought because Vera kept, asking, coming back to you, maybe you would, feel you like to tell Vera a little bit about you, as she's told you so much about her.
She wants to.
If you want to.
Well, what shall I hate being impertinent, not being questions. I always feel rude.
Well, you ask. What do you want to ask me?
Well, what do I want to ask you? May I ask you your age?
Yes, I'm 25.
25.
Yes, quite old.
25 and 85. I'm 60 years older. Pathetic, isn't it? And will you continue nursing?
I will. Yes. Yes.
I know you like. You couldn't behave as you do if you didn't.
Well, sometimes I get a bit cross, I must admit.
Oh, everybody does.
Yes, I suppose so. Yes.
But generally you're very good and very patient.
Do you think so?
Yes.
It's very nice of you to say so.
I certainly
You
do.
really think so? You're not just
I
saying...
do. No, I'm not saying. I hate being a nuisance.
Oh, you're not a nuisance at all. You're fantastic.
I often sort of want to call for something and I think, oh, they're so busy, poor girls. Let them get on with their job.
I know, but you're just as important as everybody else. And the trouble is that the more people complain and call a nurse, usually the more attention they get. That's the problem.
I know they do.
try not to make it work
It's like
that.
my neighbour.
Yes, quite. I mean, I try not to let that happen because people are demanding because they know they're going to get more attention
Yes,
if they
there
are.
are certainly people who keep on demanding things, and they do get it. I suppose for the sake of keeping them quiet.
Well, I think that's part of it, to keep them quiet, because of the other patients.
Yes.
And for our own peace of mind as well.
Mm.
But I think it happens all the time in every ward, in any hospital. I think
Yes,
the
I
more
suppose it
that
does.
people don't complain and they're very, I mean, you're more likely for us to come over and talk to you and have a chat with you
Yes, yes.
than the ones that are very demanding because you don't so much go and talk to them. But then do you get as much, physical attention as perhaps you need?
I certainly do.
Do you think you do?
Yes.
Because I felt a bit sorry for you this morning because I saw that you were sitting there, you were still sitting there
Oh, well,
in bed about...
I'm sensible enough, I think, to realise that you can't be doing everybody all the time. And there are those, as you say, who demand wanting something, they've got to have it. And if I can do that, it's good.
Yes, well, I think we have to use our, discretion. And those that don't demand as much, then you must make it a special effort to, look after them
Well,
first.
I think that's lovely.
Well, I hope we do that anyway.
You do. You see, I haven't had much experience of hospitals, really. This is since October, the first time I spent any time in hospital for many years. Before that, did you know the Royal Free at Liverpool Road?
No.
They have an annex there, or had, before this one was opened.
Oh.
And I came out in huge blisters all over, everywhere. And I was 3 months getting rid of them. I felt well. I was quite all right. I was just blisters everywhere. You couldn't lift a hand, you couldn't touch my legs, everywhere. Nobody knows what caused it.
They never found out?
They never found out. They
So
just faded away in 3 months and I was allowed to go home.
Did they treat it with anything?
All kinds of things. Various things. I couldn't tell you the names of them now, but that was in about 74, I think. But I was going to tell you, Dr. K, when the telephone rang, Dr. K here got in touch with the Queen Square Hospital, the National, is it? National City Hospital in Queen Square. He got in touch with them over this because I went to them in the early days to see if they could give me anything, do anything. And they told him definitely no. Nothing was any good. it was an injury to the spine, and I would always have it. So there we are.
What sort of test did they do on you?
At the Queen's,
Mm.
well, they gave me all kinds of drugs and a lot of physical work, but nothing did any good, you see. It was already getting worse then. In fact, one day I was coming home and I was so bad like this, I just fell over my umbrella.
Oh dear.
Absolutely whacked, just with going from Hammersmith to Queen Square. So that's how it all began. And now I've got to put up with it the rest of my life.
Yes, I know. But you seem to cope very well.
Well, we have done so far. What's rather saddened me since I've been here, my little dog had to be put down.
Oh dear.
Mind you, she was 15 and a half years old. I know I shouldn't grumble, but we were such friends. And while I was in the hospital the first time with a shoulder, she wouldn't eat a thing for a month. And when I came out, she was so feeble,
Oh.
she couldn't stand. So I thought the kindest thing to do was have her put to sleep. So I shall miss her when I go home again.
Yes, you'll miss her.
Never mind, I've got my little bit of garden. I take an interest in that.
Perhaps you could have another cat or a dog.
No, I'd never do that at my age.
You wouldn't.
I think it's most unkind, because I should die and the animal would be left with, well, anybody perhaps. No, I'd never do that again, not at my age. I haven't got long to go now, dear.
Don't say
85. I can't have long to go.
Well, I don't know. My mother's got a nursing home. She's got a lady of 100.
She's
A lady in my mother's nursing home. She's
Really?
100. And she had a telegram from the Queen and everything.
Oh.
And she's going strong, goes out for walks on her own.
Does she really? Oh,
Mm.
that's marvellous.
So there we are.
That's marvellous. If you can be like that, it's worth living.
Yeah.
But when you're not, it's not so good.
No.
Not that I have much to grumble about, I haven't. I've got a very nice woman who lives with me and looks after me more or less. And there we are. It's a quiet little life, but there it is. I've had all the gaiety in my past.
Well, you sound as if you've had some fun
Yes,
anyway.
dear.
I hope so.
I certainly do. That's about all, I think.
Thank you very much, Vera.
Tell me, how long have you been in here now?
8 weeks or over. I'm not quite certain. I forget the exact date.
How do you cope with it? Because you've been such an independent, active person, haven't you?
Yes.
How do you manage to be here 8 weeks and not go crazy?
Well, one just got to have patience, that's all.
Do you think of yourself as a patient person?
No, I say one has to have
I know,
patience.
I know one hopes one has, but I mean,
I
do you
think
of
I
yourself-
have patience.
You've always been like that.
Yes. Yes, I'm not an excitable person.
It's not something that you had to make yourself
No.
become
No, I've just grown up with it.
ever since you were in the convent.
Huh?
Ever since you were in the convent and was so
Yes, yes. Then I was only, as I say, a very little girl. But, no, I think if anything worries me, I just wait for it to go.
So you've never felt in life that you wanted something and couldn't have it?
No. Not really, I can't think of anything.
Was there something the matter with the first school you went to that made you
The first
unhappy?
school?
Yes. Can you compare it with the
Well-
convent as an institution?
I don't know, perhaps I didn't pay enough attention to my studies. At the age of 7, I'm not surprised. I didn't start till I was 7.
Mm. But you particularly said that they were very loving at the convent.
Was I particularly?
You said the nuns were very loving and
Oh,
kind.
yes, yes.
Were they different at the first school?
Oh, they weren't, they were ordinary prep school teachers. So it was not a matter of kindness. It was simply that I always did what they didn't want me to do. So there we are. That didn't last long. But I know I was always unpopular there. And I can remember so well being put in a corner, being shut in a room downstairs. But fortunately I found a bookshelf.
Oh.
So I just said, well, all right, I'll sit and read then. Which I did.
That was a bit of a cruel thing to do, though, to someone so young, wasn't it?
Well,
To put you in a
perhaps it
room
was.
on your own. I mean, why did they do that?
But I didn't make any fuss, you see. I got on with my books and they were mad when they came down and saw me enjoying my book.
I bet they were, yeah. That wasn't the idea of it.
So that's how life's been, really. If anything goes wrong, I wait for it to get right again. I'm not impatient with you, am I?
No, not at all. No, very patient.
So that's it. Just have patience in life and you'll have a happy life.
That's true.
Some will come to you.
But then you miss certain things.
Oh, well, maybe. But you can't have everything in life,
Now
can
you've
you?
got to decide.
You've got to decide what you want and then
Mhm.
be impatient about getting that, I suppose.
Mind you, I expect if I were starting a career these days, it would be very different. Because women go in for such many more jobs now than they did in my young days. I mean, there was practically nothing we could do.
I was going to ask you that, actually,
Yeah.
whether you felt that everyone says there's more opportunity nowadays.
I suppose
Do
there
you
is.
think there is?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, because girls are brought up more to know they're going to work later on. You see, I wasn't. I was just sort of
Brought up to be married. That was the
left
idea.
to drift. Drift I did. But pleasantly.
Oh, good.
So,
Are you feeling a bit tired now or uncomfortable?
no, I'm
You're
not
all right,
tired,
eh?
but I don't think I've any more of interest to tell you, dear.
All right, then. Well, thank you very much.
We'll have
indeed.
another little confab another day.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Did you...
Come up here.